Hey, I'm recording. This is nice. This is nice. All right. Hey YouTube. What's up? It's your girl Brianna Nicole. I'm back from a 4-year hiatus. So, hi. If you're new to my channel, welcome. And if this is your first time here, settle up because I have no idea what the heck I'm doing. So, come along for the ride. Today, I'm starting a little new something, okay? I'm gonna be doing this little thing that I call Ghosts and Glam. Oh yes. I am a Halloween baby. I'm a Scorpio baby. Hello to all my fellow Scorps out there. I love anything spooky, paranormal, I love urban legends, I love myths, I love mysteries, I love true crime, I love it all. I know that there's, some other channels that are out there that do true crime and makeup, and I live for that. But I want to do my little spin on things and do it my style. I'm just gonna be going through this. I don't know what I'm doing. That is first and foremost. A refreshment. My face is already pretty much prepped, and I'm pretty much ready to go. Are you ready? Because I don't know. I am going to tell you a ghost story, or a paranormal story, or an urban legend, or whatever you want to call it, while I do my full face of makeup. And today, honey, since it's my first time being back after my hiatus, she's going full glam. She's going full glam, honey. Okay, I'm not here to play games. Let's begin, shall we? Yeah? All right. Sometimes you gotta look a little busted and disgusted before you look glam, okay? And that's what we're gonna do today. Listen, first off, before I begin this whole story, shout out to Best Friend because she's the one that got me back on here. That's that on that. So thank you, Best Friend. I love you, and you're the best. Today's tale is a local. Yes, baby. We have a San Antonio urban legend, the Donkey Lady. I am going to start with Maz. Now, some people don't list their products, some people don't talk about their products. I like to talk about products at the same time because I got ADHD, so I like to go from boom to boom. So today we're using Cremated palette because I think it's fitting, and I've got my "and that's why we drink" shirt on. Why not? And it's Ghosts and Glam, so let's dive in. I have no idea what the kind of look I'm going for today, but I'm here for the ride just like y'all are. And where is my concealer brush? It's like ain't nothing changed in the past 4 years. All right, so let's begin. If you're not from San Antonio, you're probably like, who is the Donkey Lady? Well, let me tell you. The Donkey Lady is a tale that has been told for years here in the lovely city of San Antonio. She's basically what you would consider close to La Llorona, which I do plan to cover at one point in time. She instilled fear. Now, there's a lot of variations. There's a lot of skepticism as to whether or not she even exists. All of that is TBD. I mean, honestly, because I personally have never been to the Donkey Lady Bridge myself. Reason being, my mother told me that a lot of gang initiations would happen there because I'll get into it in a little bit, that it just basically was not very safe. And it is located on the city's south side. It's off of Applewhite Road. Inside Loop 1604, outside Loop 410. I'm going to refer to her, there's going to be two main characters, okay? Donkey Lady, but I'm going to call her Maria. Because as I was writing my notes, that's the only song that could come into my head. And I was like, Maria, Maria. Okay, you know what I'm saying. I don't want to get copyrighted. Now, the other character is Donkey, just like Shrek. The origins of the story actually, I mean, it varies. Just like the versions vary, so does the basic timeline of when the story actually took place. Now, some stories say that it was the mid-1800s, some say it was the 1950s. Man, it is hard to do my right eye because my astigmatism is bad. And I do mean bad. Here's one thing. 4 different variations, but there's a few facts that just, they stay in. Number 1, there was a lady. Number 2, there was a donkey. Okay? Okay. In the majority of the stories, it includes a donkey biting a boy. Why? Let's find out. The first variation goes that a settler woman and her family had moved in to a farm near Elm Creek. Basically, they owned a huge farmland. They were, living their best life, doing things as you do in that time, because I don't know, I'm not a settler. And they did own some livestock, one of them being a donkey. Some stories say that the donkey was very special to Maria. This variation really does not mention the fact that the donkey was, you know, beloved to her. So one day this young man from San Antonio came by. I guess he came on a horse, I don't know. He sees a donkey and he begins to start teasing the donkey. Now here's my thing. Why would you tease a donkey? Like, just make it make sense. He begins beating, you know, the donkey and teasing it and all that stuff. Well, rightfully so, donkey goes ahead and bites him. Because, I mean, what else are you gonna do? Listen, if somebody is messing with you, sometimes you gotta strike back. Donkey struck back. And good for donkey, honestly. I keep seeing Shrek's donkey, like, especially when he's sad. That's how I see donkey, and it's just like, don't mess with donkey. Just don't. It's rude. It's disrespectful. So because donkey bit the young man or the boy, because it varies in some stories, he starts going crazy and he starts beating donkey to like the point of death. And again, why? I don't understand. It doesn't make any sense to me. Number one, what were you doing there? What were you trying to do? What was the purpose? What was the reason for your trip? In defense of donkey, Maria starts throwing some rocks. She's like, listen, you don't mess with my donkey. Okay, she came to donkey's rescue and she threw a rock. Now here's the kicker. This is what really annoys me. This young man was the son of a both wealthy and prominent man of San Antonio. You already know how that goes. Okay? Of course, what does he do? He goes whining to dada and says, I got bit. I got bit by a donkey. Boss way, you shouldn't have been hitting it. So, that being said, Father gathers a bunch of men and they go back to the property where Maria and her family live. Now, mind you, I didn't mention this in the beginning. It wasn't just Maria and her husband. It was Maria, her husband, and her 2 children. That's gonna get sad. The men return back to the property, and what they did is they pretty much barricaded the door so that way they could not escape. And they set the house ablaze. Yep. Cowards. Despicable creatures. Now, the husband, in an attempt to try and save his family, walks out the door and is instantly shot down. Dies. The children died in the fire. But Maria was a fighter. Maria survived that fire. You could hear over a mile span of the cries of Maria and her children perishing and Maria being burned from head to toe. All of a sudden, out of one of the windows came this crash. Crashing through that window was Maria, and she let out an unhuman-like sound, shrieking. Her hands and her feet were completely melted, so her hands were reduced down to nubs. The same thing for her feet, which creates a hoof-like appearance. Her face was completely melted, and the way that it melted just elongated to resemble a donkey. Her clothes were, of course, they were completely burned away, so you could just see her badly burned, charred body just running out of the house. Her husband was murdered. Her children were murdered. She's completely disfigured. She runs past the men and jumps into Elm Creek, which is right next to where their house is. The men followed her because they wanted to make sure that the job was done. So of course they thought, well, okay, she probably went and she drowned herself. So the men followed. There was no trace of Maria. And to this day, Maria's body was never, ever found. It's said that she mourns the tragic loss of her family. I mean, I can't even, I don't even want to imagine. Totally horrible. A juicier version exists. Juicier, you say? Yes, juicier. And this is like really messed up. I did my research and I looked, and there are a lot of reports that this could have also been what had happened. Now, other variations state that it was not a group of men or the son that had set the house ablaze. No, no, no. It was the husband. Could you imagine? No, don't. But honestly, like, what the heck? So I did a little digging, and I'm like, okay, because I could not find a reason. I'm like, did they have children in the streets? Did they not have children? They had children. The husband murdered the children. Murdered the children. And then he set the house on fire. Why? It basically goes the same way. He murdered the children, set the house on fire. Nothing was said as far as what happened to him. Maybe he perished, maybe he ran away like a coward. But apparently what I was looking for was the reasons why. I like to know the whys of everything. Why did it happen? What was he thinking? And what I did come to find is that they said that he, in like a drunken rage or a drunken stupor, and you know when you're drunk you do a lot of stupid stuff. Listen, it's different when it's somebody that you don't know, like a serial killer that does it, but it's completely different when it's someone that you know. Yeah, no, it does not sit well with me. I don't like it. I don't like it. I'm not here for it. Get a one-way ticket out of here. Nope, still. Bye. The majority of the stories that I've all found state that there were children involved. That's the saddest thing. Why involve the children? Why hurt a donkey? Why do any of that? I never really had heard of this version until I started doing my research. I'm really just gonna smoke out my eye. I don't know all what I'm doing yet, but I just kind of have an idea, and not to segue away from that. But by the way, in case you're wondering, I'm using Obituary, Eulogy, and Gravedigger so far from the Cremated palette. Here's the thing. Those are the main two stories of Maria being killed, or, you know, the origins of the story were, you know, by fire. There's completely different variations that I do have, and honestly, these are the variations that I initially knew, because I looked up the Donkey Lady years ago, and it was like the first time that I had ever heard that she was burned in a fire. I had a scare. I thought that I wasn't recording this whole time, which would not surprise me because, hi. God, I look nuts. Let's zoom back in. Hi. I want y'all to up my business. So I'm gonna dip into hers as I talk about the remaining possibilities as to what the hell happened to Maria. These are, for me, listen, they're all sad. For some reason, I just feel like this is even more sad. I know it's really messed up because the first variations, they involved, you know, potential children, which we don't know. We can neither confirm nor deny that, number one, these stories are even true, and number two, that there were ever children involved. So, but what we do know is that there was a donkey involved, and I love animals, so it's going to affect me. These are the ones that I kind of found more believable, because the initial ones were basically that she was driven insane by her injuries, obviously, and the betrayal and the loss of her family, which is completely understandable. In the other variations, a little bit different. It's a little bit different. Again, in the other variations that I heard, and these are the ones that I initially knew of, she was basically like a loner. She was a recluse. There really wasn't much information, but people just kind of referred to her like as the Donkey Lady because she had donkey as a pet, which honestly, we love that. I mean, if people have goats for pets, I mean, why not a donkey? And I mean, if he's as cute as the one from Shrek, why not? She was taking Donkey for a little walk, as you do, of course, near their property, right next to the creek, Elm Creek. Well, and I don't know how in the heck this whole thing transpired. There's really not much detail as to when, but apparently at one point the young boy, they say man, they say boy, it varies. I think in the fires it's more of a young man, but in these stories it's a young boy. What had happened was a young boy happened to cross paths with Maria and Donkey. I need another mirror because, girl, I cannot see how in the heck I'm doing my right eye. Donkey and Maria, they're walking, they're chilling, they're chatting, they're vibing. It's a great time. All of a sudden, this boy comes up, and at some point, we don't know why, it was never really disclosed, this donkey bites the little boy. And honestly, when I think of the boy, I refer to him as Lord Farquaad. Like, he just seemed like that type. Like, just very entitled, just very spoiled, very that. Which, obviously, all the qualities that I don't know what's standing in a man. Again, not knowing why, but donkey bit the boy. Maybe the boy was messing with the donkey, and I think, not to take donkey's side, but to completely take donkey's side, I think that that's what happened. Of course, little boy, little Farquad goes, whatever, fart face. Lord Fart Face, he goes over to his daddy and goes, wah, 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 donkey bit me, donkey bit me. So the man, of course, the same thing, prominent, wealthy man, lots of moolah, of course, comes with the territory, comes with the arrogance. Basically goes and searches Maria, and it's not just him, it's a whole group of guys, it's a whole gang of guys. They go, they find Maria, they fight Maria for the rope because she's walking donkey on a rope. Back then they didn't have a leash. They're fighting for the rope. Maria's putting up a fight. You ain't getting to her donkey. No ma'am, no sir, not today, Satan. So she is fighting tooth and nail to keep donkey safe. Like, my God, that's her ride or die. And unfortunately, in this scuffle of these men trying to take the rope away, donkey falls into the creek and he drowns. First of all, why would you beat a donkey? I'm still stuck on that. So to start off, at first I thought that I wasn't recording this whole entire time. Then I had to go through my videos to figure out that I was recording the whole entire time. And then when I started to get back into my groove and I started feeling confident, I'm like, wait, I got this. Like, I've done this. It's been 4 years, but I still got this. No, my battery was too hot. And I'm like, gosh dang it, can you please just get it together? So I'm trying to finish my eyes so I can move on to my face so I can tell you all the rest of the gosh darn story. Do we love? I know I do. Before I get back into the story, you're like, girl, come on. I'm rusty, damn it. I'm gonna go in with Miss Fenty Beauty. We're gonna do How Many Carats, the Diamond Bomb. And I'm just gonna top her on my eyes. I just want a little extra. You see how she just adds that little bit of extra? Oh, I'm satisfied. Are you satisfied? Good. I wait. You know what? Everything's writing against me doing this. I swear. Anyways, let's get back on track. My mother is sending me petitions to sign. We love that. By the way, if you haven't signed your petitions, sign your petitions right now. There are lives that are depending on it. That's your refresher for the day. Let's jump back in, shall we? Drownings. Let's see, where did I leave off on? Oh, donkey. Donkey fell into the creek on accident. It was accidental because these men felt like they just had some kind of right to Maria's donkey. Gosh darn, it looked ghostly. Now, one story says that Maria jumped in right after to go and save her donkey. And of course, donkey perished. Maria ends up jumping into the water and she herself perishes. Very, very, very sad. Anastasia stick, Mink for a little contour because I said I was gonna go full glam, so I mean, might as well. Honestly, hold up, real quick. First off, the small stipple brush from e.l.f. This is the second one I've gone through. She's about to break again and I'm gonna need to replace her. But honestly, one of the best stippling brushes that I use, that I've been using for years to blend out my contour. First variation is that they died together. Tragic. The other variation is that when donkey fell into the creek and drowned, Maria was pissed. She started to throw rocks at the men. She hits one of them, which good for her. So she ends up throwing a rock and hits one of the men and knocks him unconscious, which you shouldn't have been, you know, fighting for a donkey that does not belong to you. And you should have kept your little boy in line so he wouldn't have been getting bit by no donkey, okay? Keep your eye on your children. That's the takeaway here. And my lines are looking a little rough. I promise you, I know what I'm doing. Boom. We look better. We look so much better. Little Juvia's place. Concealer. She ends up knocking the man unconscious. She did that. When she knocked the man unconscious, of course these men, spiteful, vengeful jackasses. A donkey. You know what? Let's not go there. The men grabbed Maria and threw her into the creek. She drowned. So, that being said, it's told in the story, in the folklore, that she haunts that creek. Maria and donkey, they died in the water. The story says that their souls merged into one. I'm just the messenger. That's it. That's all. I'm just telling you what I know. Their souls became one. and then that is what everyone refers to as the donkey lady. I personally believe, if this is true, that the donkey lady is just basically an embodiment of the torment and the torture that she faced before her death. That's just how it seems to me. That's basically the story of the donkey lady. Which one do you think? Was she burned? Was she drowned? Fire or water? Which of the elements caused Maria's demise? Also, what happened to Donkey? Did they merge? Did they become one? Is it a spirit? There's like stories saying that it's an actual person still, and that she's literally like insane, like because of what happened to her, and rightfully freaking so. I mean, my god. So that's always been like a thing, that she is alive and, you know, she's just horribly disfigured, and she chases away anybody that basically goes near there. A family member told me once that she went when she was a little girl. I Google mapped this to like confirm her claim, because I was like, nah, like girl, bye, like stop playing. But she swears that when she went, I think it was her and her family, and they went over to the bridge. She said that when she was there inside the vehicle, she saw a huge statue that looked like a donkey. Now, if you go online onto Google Maps and you do an exploration of the Donkey Lady Bridge, you will see that there is no statue there that exists. So, what did she see? You're either supposed to honk your horn or flash your lights, which is also why I was told that it was like a place where gang initiations would take place, because obviously you're making your presence known. You're literally like out in the middle of nowhere, out there. Whew, I had to do some off-camera work, honey. Let's go into some of the stories. Now, first off, there was a number a few years ago, which, you know what? Let's try calling it. Let's see if it works.
Hello. Please state your name after the tone, and Google Voice will try to connect you.
No, ma'am. Well, there went that. Anyways, there used to be a phone number that you could use, which was a number that I dialed. I mean, if you want to give them your name, go right ahead, knock yourself out. She would talk to you, you would hear like, you know, the like her approaching. I'm going back in with pallbearer. Basically what stated, and I have yet to experience it for myself, but I really plan on doing that soon. I was gonna have my dad take me during the day. I got him a GoPro with a harness, and I wanted to go with him wearing it, of course. I wanted to see like if I could capture anything, like maybe I can talk to Maria. What if Maria is actually her real name? So if you go, especially, I mean, during the day, I've looked online and it is absolutely beautiful. It's beautiful. But at night is when everything goes down, okay? Now, from what I've seen, this used to be a lover's lane back in the day. If you go late at night and you flash your headlights or you honk your horn 3 times, she will appear. It's basically like a given warning that if you go, you're kind of expected to have some type of damage happen to your vehicle. As the saying goes, if you go looking for something, you're gonna find it. You know, it's true. It's true. You can expect to see hoof prints on your vehicle, your windshield's cracked. Some claim to even have had blood. I don't know about all that. One story that I had read about years ago, literally just out of curiosity, I was like, well, you know, what happened? This guy, I think him and another friend, they went out to the bridge. Obviously it was late at night. They were in their car, and see, most of them, the stories say that you can expect the damage to happen to the hood of your car. No one ever mentioned a trunk. The young guy and his friend, they don't see anything, but they can hear hooves, like the sound of hooves approaching. So they freak out. All of a sudden, they hear a boom, like literally, if that's like the best way to explain it. It was just like someone just went boom on their trunk. They hear this slam. Now, because it was on their trunk, they didn't see anything, which is also very, very creepy. Think about it. They speed off with the quickness. When they got home to the guy's house, they pulled into the garage, they get out of the car, and they see on the trunk 2 like hoof indentations, which is typically what is told that you would see as evidence goes for the donkey lady. What ended up happening is the guy was like, I mean, just completely freaked out. What he did is he actually took off that piece of his trunk. He kept it on his garage as like a reminder that she actually does exist. I was not able to find a picture because I was looking for that story in particular. I could not find anything. At the same time, I did find some similar accounts. In 2011, I was reading another article. This reporter is for the San Antonio Current, and he states that he went to the Donkey Lady Bridge. When he went, he wanted to like see like can he get a little bit of evidence for himself, and he's calling out for the Donkey Lady. Of course, she does not appear, right? He goes looking for her. So he starts walking along the water, along the creek, and he states that when he went there down to the muddy water, he found one single hoof print. Now, he had a camera with him. I mean, if you're gonna go and like go investigate, best have a camera ready. And he takes a picture of it with his camera. When he goes home to look at his pictures, every other picture worked perfectly fine. He had absolutely no problem viewing any of the pictures. However, when he went to that one picture that had the hoof print, his camera froze so bad that he literally had to take the batteries out just to shut the camera off. That should be telling you something. He says that, you know, he could see it from, you know, your viewer, you know, of your camera. But when he actually went to go and look, like his camera completely froze. And he's like, I think that that was a sign of like her showing her presence without fully like making a full-bodied apparition, which I thought that was really cool. There's other stories, they're all basically the same. They go out at night, they honk their horn, or they flash their lights. They just completely see either an apparition, whether it's a donkey, whether it's a woman, whether it's a spirit. It's completely a mystery as to what it is, but there are people that literally have never gone back because they have had the crap scared out of them. So that's basically it. What do you think? Have you been there? Oh my gosh, if I have some San Antonio people and you've been to the Donkey Lady Bridge, please share your stories with me. You know what? Get into this. You need to get into this. Come here. Ooh. So yeah, San Antonio peeps, Texas peeps. I mean, if you've come to San Antonio and like, you know, wanting to do a little exploration, I want to know, like, have you seen her? What do you think she is? And that, ladies and gents, and everyone, is the story of the Donkey Lady, a San Antonio tale, the tragic, tragic loss of a woman and her donkey, and potentially her husband and her children, but we don't know the true story. So sound off below. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe, because Ghosts&Glam is definitely something I'm going to continue doing. And I definitely want to continue doing some more local stories. I think it's so cool because here in San Antonio, it's just a haunted city. And trust me, there's plenty that I can share about. I hope that you enjoyed this little makeup journey, and to everyone that has you know, subscribed to me a long time ago and is watching my video, I thank you from the bottom of my heart, because this was not easy for me to get back on camera. It feels good being back. I'm really happy. I enjoyed making it for you, and this is what I like to do. I like to be in front of the camera and just talk to you guys and just join the little ghost story. If you get a chance, go and check out the bridge and let me know what you think. All my products will be listed down below if you are curious. So I appreciate you watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Have a good night. Bye guys.